All right. Welcome to the Tuesday night Principled Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Alex Lopatnyuk. His title for his talk tonight, Class 4 Laser and all of its applications. Can't wait to hear it, Alex. Just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about DE, guys. DE is on the horizon. Today's March 1st, and DE is April 21st to the 24th. So that's about 7 weeks away. We are filling up that room block where people are getting registered, but it's about that time, guys. The room block closes March 19th on my wedding anniversary. So, let's put that screen back up real quick, Kat, just to go over the dates here. April 21st to the 24th, Sarasota. August 11th to the 14th, Atlanta. Then back in Atlanta in October. And then January, Clearwater. Can't wait. Back to Clearwater. But yeah, the room block, March 19th is your deadline. So you're at March 1st. So we've got 18 days left until the room block deadline. I would say at March 20th at 12:01 a.m., they will sell all of the rest of the rooms for a ridiculous price because hotel rooms in Florida are like $800 a night. We have this room block that we locked in because Kat is so amazing at $245 a night. So you can get an $800 a night room for $245 a night if you book it from now through March 19th. After March 19th, room block's gone. You're paying $800 a night or you're staying at another hotel. So the choice is yours. I would probably get on that in the next couple of weeks and get booked for Sarasota. Guys, this is the last DE at Sarasota, okay? We're switching. We go Atlanta for the next two. Then we're in Clearwater. So this is the last one at Sarasota. I don't know, maybe ever. I don't know if that's officially been proclaimed, but this is it. Farewell to Sarasota. So you don't want to miss this one. This was like the farewell to the Embassy Suites when we lost that one. So let's get on it. Sarasota, Florida. Always a lot of fun. This is going to be April. It's going to be like 80 degrees and sunny. We're going to be in the pool. We're going to be having fun, fellowship, listening to great speakers. This is going to be a great DE, guys. You don't want to miss it. Anyway, so for tonight's call, Dr. Alex Lopatnyuk is our speaker. He's a 2012 graduate from Palmer, Florida, my alma mater. And he is a Florida Chiropractic Society board member, just like myself. So you see the similarities here. Something I found out right before we went on the air is that my grandfather is from the Ukraine, and Alex was born in the Ukraine. And he has a lot of family there, and he lived in Kiev, the capital, till he was 10. So he's got a lot of heritage going on right now. And, Alex is probably feeling very, very interesting right now. And I don't want to steal his thunder, but I know that what's going on in the world is definitely affecting him. So, Alex, we're going to be praying for you and your family, for safety over there, for peace in the world. And I love and appreciate you, brother. I think you're an incredible guy, great upper cervical chiropractor. I've had this guy adjust me a million times, and he is a master of the knee chest scale adjustment. So it's truly my honor to introduce from Winter Garden, Florida, Dr. Alex Lopatnyuk.
Hey guys, thank you, Brian. That was an awesome introduction. I really appreciate it. So I am not a speaker. Like, I do not like to speak, but they asked me, so I couldn't say no. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on myself, and we'll talk a little bit about everything. Like Brian said, I did graduate in 2012 in September. And I kind of just wanted to take this time to talk a little bit about, running a successful practice. Now, there's many different meanings of successful practices, and there's no ceiling to how much money you can make in a practice. But for us, for my practice, it's I'm pretty happy with it, and I've seen a lot of folks struggle and new students coming out, and I just kind of want to share some do's and don'ts, but mostly do's, if you will. But like he said, I graduated in September 2012. I had a buddy of mine that I practice with to this day still. So we're coming up on 10 years this year, Dr. Josh Freemar. And me and him kind of made a pact. We had a family graduating school, and we said, hey, let's partner up. Let's do this together, so we can kind of manage school time and business practice time and family time. So that was really important for us. So we've been in practice ever since. So like I said, graduated September, October 1st, signed our lease. November 1st, opened the doors with 0 patients. So something not to do, okay? Don't do that. So kind of going back, I always tell folks, I'm no genius. Was not a valedictorian or even close. I did not receive any special awards when I graduated. C is for chiropractic. And I kind of followed through that all the way through the boards. I'm like, as long as I pass, nobody's gonna know what I got, and that's all that matters. But going through school, one of the biggest things that made sense to me is the principles, the philosophy. At that point, back in the day, we still had an amazing professor. He's still there at Palmer, Florida, right now, Dr. Michael Shreve, and he taught philosophy 1, 2, 3, and philosophy to me was like, I don't know what is philosophy. And by the third semester, I was like, the big idea kind of hit me over the head. I'm like, I get it. So third semester is when I actually went to my first DE, and all through school, I've never skipped a DE. So been going ever since. But what I wanted to really talk to you about is, opening a practice is you really got to have a successful mindset. A successful mindset is everything. I see a lot of new grads opening up, and they got play A, B, C. If this doesn't work out, this it's good and great, but we had no plan B. We took all the money we had, we put it in. There was no plan B, and November 1st, our first patient was a friend of Dr. Josh's from church. I don't know if she paid anything for the first visit, but she was the first patient. Okay, but that's a key thing. Like you have to either commit, be all in, or go and learn. And by that I mean you have to have a system. Okay, when you're in practice, and it's a system for communication. You know what I mean? You have to be able to communicate the big idea, and that starts with a proper consult, goes into a proper report of findings, goes into day-to-day visits, goes into your orientation, goes into your re-exams whenever you do that. So you have to have a system in place. And if you don't have a system in place, I suggest you associate. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, Dr. Moriarty is looking for an associate. And if I were you guys, I'd jump all over that. So I know he's looking for somebody. So that's a huge thing. And the reason for proper communication, and why I think communication is key, is with proper communication, you get to empower your practice members. Okay, and success, as we all know, comes from new practice members. When you're able to serve all those people, and being able to empower new practice members through their day-to-day contact with you, and seeing them get the big idea after report of findings, after an orientation, is what kind of gets the fire under them kind of going. Then they begin to see like, oh my gosh, I have friends, I have family, they could absolutely benefit from this. Because as you guys know, people either don't know about chiropractic or have the absolute wrong idea about chiropractic. Okay, so we want to always try to steer them in the right direction, making sure they're learning the principled chiropractic. Another thing is, if you've been in practice for a couple of years, it's inevitable. You get kind of, you get into a happy place. Things are going, money's coming in, bills are being paid, the wife is happy, kids are happy, everybody's happy. And this is where complacency kind of sets in. And the biggest thing that I can share with you guys is that don't get complacent. It's happened, multiple times in our almost 10 years. And you feel like, all right, finally, like I've hit the snowball. I'm going down the hill, like woohoo. And you know, a couple of months into it, things kind of begin to slow down, and you're like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? What's up with our numbers? You know, and what's going on? And you have to you have to try to do your best to not get complacent and strive to do more. Okay, you got to strive to do more. You got to take action. Action is huge. You can't talk about it. You got to be about it. And one of my best examples that I love to give is look at Judson. Look at Steve Judson. Guy had a massive practice, and then what is he going to do? He's going to, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a second book. I'm going to write a third book. That's not enough. I'm going to do podcasts. I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to get on TikTok. I'm going to get on Instagram. I'm going to Reels. I'm going to do this. Dude's all over the place. He's everywhere. But that's the meaning of success. That's the meaning of sharing this whole the big idea and getting it out to the world. And he found a way to do it and share this message, I think, better than everybody. So Steve, awesome job. But first and foremost, you know, biggest thing about a successful practice is you gotta love, man. You gotta love on people. You gotta love on your practice members. Without love, never gonna have a successful practice. You know, we live, you know, straight chiropractic. You know, we follow the vitalistic model, but it's intent. It's in all the. It's huge. Intention is huge. One of the first things I tell, you know, not I don't tell folks, but people see when they come into our practices, obviously they Google you. You know what I mean? We have close to, I think, like 240 Google reviews, 5 stars. But the interesting thing is that when you look at all those reviews, it's always care. They care for me more than anybody. It's such love in the office. They're like family. I love going there. I love the feeling. They help me, but they care. They listen. They take their time. They're professional, and that's hard to find these days. You know what I mean? That's hard to find these days. So if you're going to do anything, you know, be the best, you know, at loving people. You got to love on people. You got to meet them where they are. Which brings me into what do? All we do in our office is we analyze, detect, and correct subluxations through very specific adjustments. That's it. My overhead is my front desk, our rent, and face paper, which is amazing. You know, at this point, you know, we're kind of seeing around 400 people a week, which is nice. You know, with one CA, everybody's happy. And that's the key. You know, it's kind of relieve the stress. There's no stress. You know, try to do your best to run a cash practice. You know what I mean? We see a lot of docs that are yeah, you can make a lot more money with insurance. Yeah, but then you got 12 CAs in your office doing, you know, either from billing and doing all the PT stuff and all this other fluff. You're paying for it anyway, and then at the end of the night, you're stressed out because if you forgot to write a note, or you didn't correct something, and you're worrying about audits because inevitably that's coming. So my, you know, what I tell folks is my suggestion: go cash. You know, the world is coming to you right now. Go cash. And if somebody wants to leave because you don't take their insurance, it's okay. You know, you got to learn how to communicate. That's the big thing. You got to communication. That's where that comes in as well, because I tell you, you know, in our office, 1 out of 15 patients maybe doesn't get past the consult because, you know, we don't accept their insurance. But that's it. You know, it's not an overwhelming number. And to be honest, probably if they're so stuck on that, they're probably not right for you anyway. So run a cash practice if you can, because that's when the best feeling I have is at the end of the day and in the morning. But at the end of the day, when I go, my heart is filled and I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about anything. I'm there. I'm present with my family. And I think that's pretty huge. Talking about stress, you know, everybody's got stress. You know, life is not all peaches and cream, and everybody has stress. You know, you look at a lot of these guys with huge successful practices, you don't know what they've been through. You know, you don't know how stressed out they are. Everybody's got issues, you know, but you have to learn to find ways to manage stress. For me, one of the greatest things that happened to me last year is I met Dr. Sarnoff, Dave, and dude's intense. Dude's very intense, very intense. But you know, he's from Jersey, so what do you expect? But you know, you got to learn how to take care of you, and that's one of the biggest things I learned from him is that you got to, if you're going to be successful, you have to put yourself first, okay? Because if you're stressed out, if you can't manage your stress, then you bring that stress to your practice, you bring that stress to your home, and it just perpetrates. You know what I mean? So he's like, bro, start walking. You know, start walking. So I've been walking 2-3 miles twice a day, every day, and look, I lost 40 pounds, which is fantastic. You know who's happy? I'm happy. I'm thrilled. My wife's even happier. So that's been awesome. And I got to thank him because I don't have time. I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys. I don't really have I don't really have a lot of time to sit down and read a quiet book with tea. You know what I mean? But I walk. It takes me 45 minutes twice a day. I started listening to audiobooks. I've listened to dozens and dozens of books, and you form this little, almost like a little club with your buddies, and like, hey, who's listening to what? Who's listening, who's doing what? And I've learned a tremendous amount within these past 6-8 months. So managing stress is huge. Um, one of the big things is somebody asked me to talk about is like, hey man, how do what's the key to getting new patients? And I tell folks it is internet, unfortunately, but number one source is obviously your internal referrals. You have to educate your practice members. Okay. Number two, after that, we're talking about Google's king. Okay. We don't pay for Google. I mean, we pay minuscule, just the minimum to have something there, to have a professional page. But most of our like reviews come from patients, and all you got to do is you got to ask the patients. It's pretty simple. Somebody comes in on the third day, they're feeling better. Ask. Mary says, "Oh my God, I gardened for 2 hours. I didn't even feel my low back." Awesome, Mary. Would you mind sharing that on Google? Because how so many people. This is the season right now, and you be helping so many people. Oh yeah, I'd love to. And literally, out of hundreds of people that we've asked, a handful doesn't do it, and it's okay. Or someone comes in for their, you have those people, the quiet ones. They'll come in for their re-exam, and all of a sudden you realize, hey, this is better. This is better. Just ask them to share. You have to ask people to share, and people 99 out of 100 times will be more than happy to fill out whatever you want. Another huge thing for us was, there's services out there. We use Reviewwave. When Reviewwave first came out, we signed up with them, and that was the biggest thing. We saw our reviews skyrocket. That was fantastic, the first few months, because we had so many people in the system, and now there was a service that sent out these automated, reminders and messages, and people all of a sudden started leaving reviews out of the blue. So that was fantastic. One of the big things we've done, and this has been huge for us, and I've learned this from another doc, DE doc, is what's the time of year right now? This is the Girl Scout season. Okay, cookies. So about 3 weeks ago, we put an order for 60 boxes. Okay, we got 60 boxes of cookies. We laid them out all across our front desk. People walked in, they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I would love to buy one. We're like, nope, they're free. You don't have to buy one. Like, what do you mean they're free? Well, if you leave us a Google review, leave us a positive Google review, you can pick a box. People literally stand right there in front of the front desk, they leave a review, they take whatever the box they want, they're happier than ever. And that's an easy way to get 30, 40 reviews at a time. You know what I mean? In a couple of weeks' time. And that hugely boosts your your searchability on Google, which is where, like I said, most people find chiropractors or anyone this year. I mean, not this year, this time. Friends and Family Day. We love Friends and Family Day. We do Friends and Family Day twice a year, every year, and pick a Saturday. We open up at 8 a.m. We go till 1, 2, 3 p.m. However many people, new patients sign up, and we do. It's twice a year. It's a complimentary consult, exam, X-rays, report of findings, and but we'll get 35 to 50 people to come on a Saturday. You know, twice a year, it's not bad. You know, we cater it, we plan for it, we spend some money on it. People love it. But again, there's a system behind it. So if you don't know, ask. I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys. And overall, it's just the biggest thing I'll tell folks is, like BJ Palmer said, you know, the KISS principle: keep it simple, stupid. Exactly. Just don't overanalyze. Okay. Don't vomit all your chiropractic philosophy on the first day or the second day on a new patient who's in pain and all they want is relief. Okay. They're not ready for it yet. Okay. It starts, but this is why you got to do care packages. Okay. People, yeah, sometimes people get better in 2 visits and they leave, or they don't get better in 2 visits, they leave. So don't let them make that choice. You know, do care packages. Okay. People have to understand it, and more so, it gives you time to educate them. It gives you time to show them what this big idea is. Okay. Let them empower them to share their story with people. And I think that's the biggest way to a successful practice, guys. That's pretty simple. That's kind of all I had for you. Like I said, I'm not a big speaker, but I hope you guys have learned something. And like Brian said, I would like to end with this: is that, you know, yeah, I am from Ukraine, and I have lots of family in Kiev. I grew up in Kiev. I came here when I was 10. So to see what's happening is absolutely a tragedy. I tell folks it's like brothers are fighting. It's like saying people from North Carolina and South Carolina are different people. They're not. They're the same. They're exactly the same. They have the same customs, the same songs they listen to. Everything's the same. And so if you could take a moment, kind of pray for all those folks. And don't forget, there's 2 sides to every story. So don't believe everything you see on TV. And but it's definitely something that needs to end quicker than later, because those people are definitely suffering right now. I love and appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Facebook, or however you want to. Never too busy to talk. Or if you guys want to, or any students want to come down, check out the office in Shadow, absolutely not a problem. Would love to have you guys. Thank you so much.
Dr. Alex, man, that was awesome, buddy. Great job, brother.
Thank you.
Definitely praying for your family in the Ukraine. Really love how you laid that out about a successful practice. A lot of good gems in there. Love the Girl Scout cookies, man. I think that's an awesome idea. I might try that. Alex, still there?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was huge for us. Yeah, and thank you, Brian, for talking about Ukraine, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. Dude, you're an awesome guy, awesome chiropractor, great friend. I'm back. Anyway, thanks so much, Alex. Yes, sorry, Judson was trying to call me. Anyway, thanks so much, Alex. Have a great buddy next Tuesday night on the Principled Chiro broadcast.
Thank you, sir.